That black water's arising, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain, and what we've got here tonight is from Southern Tier Brewing. This is part of their Blackwater series. Their Thick Mint Imperial Stout. It says here it's a dessert beer brewed with chocolate and mint. No big surprise, a thick mint obviously is going to be a chocolate mint beer, because really there's no other thing you can do with the minty beer than chocolate. Now I did do Ballast Point's Victory at Sea, Mint Victory at Sea I believe, Peppermint Victory at Sea recently. So it'll be interesting to see how this stacks up against that. I will tell you, it's starting out pretty good. Ooh, I can smell the mint from here. But I can also smell that boozy, high alcohol by volume smell too. This one's a 10%, but it is extremely, extremely dark. I mean, as black as midnight. It's got a nice thick head on it, which means it's pretty effervescent. There is no color here at all. I mean, just a tiny little sliver, maybe a hair's breadth of brown here where the glass is at its thinnest. But other than that, it is dark as midnight. And I'm really smelling the mint. But again, almost in equal measure, I'm getting that high ABV booziness. If you've had several high ABV beers, you tend to develop a nose and a taste for the closest thing I can think to describe it as a sourness from the high ABV. And that alcohol content tends to lend that certain type of sour tang to the beers. Imperials are notorious for it in my book. I'm getting a strong aroma of it off the head of this particular beer, but there's a very, very strong mint coming through too. That strong ABV tang is what I get up front. It's very forward with that. But again, at 10%, it's going to be pretty prevalent. What follows it up is a nice medium mouthfeel beer. It's not as thick as I would have thought. So it's a little lighter in mouthfeel than I would have thought. But that high ABV booziness is hitting me up front. And it's followed by something very smooth that tastes like an Andes candy. You know, the Andes chocolate mints that you get in the little boxes. Some fancy restaurants give them out. But it's usually something you get your dad at Christmas, or at least in my experience. But if you know what an Andes candy is, then you know what I'm talking about is creme de menthe. Little squares. Some fancy hotels give them out on your pillow. But what I'm getting once you get past that booziness is a taste that's very reminiscent of an Andes candy mint. And the mouthfeel, like I said, is nice and medium. It's not bad overall, but that booziness up front is really turning me off. I'm kind of hoping that the more I drink it, the more subdued that becomes, and the more enjoyable this gets. Because honestly, the aftertaste is very enjoyable. It's just that upfront booziness is just so off-putting that I can't enjoy the aftertaste. And I think thick mint is a perfect descriptor, because that aftertaste, it's very thick and it's very minty. It's like a chocolate mint. You just got to get past that initial of the high ABV, and I can't do it yet. I keep thinking as I drink it, maybe that's going to fade and I'll just get the nice aftertaste, but that's not happening. But it's so smooth and creamy with the medium mouthfeel and that nice chocolate mint aftertaste. I think I'm going to put this at a 4 out of 5. And I know I'm getting that initial negative reaction up front, but the fact that I'm enjoying the back end of the aftertaste so much, I've got to give this points for being a delicious and unique beer. Maybe not unique, but delicious and standout. It's just that initial off-putting taste that kills it for me. I think without that, I would have put this at a 4.5 or a 5, but yeah, the whole experience of this beer is in the aftertaste, and it is good enough to rate it higher, even though initially with each sip it's off-putting. So 4 out of 5 for me. That's just my opinion. Hit me up down in the comments and the email link down below. Like to hear what you have to say about it, whether you agree or disagree. Discuss the beer with you. While you're down there, make sure to hit me up with a like. Also, click that little share button. Share that video with all of your friends on Facebook. Get the word out that these videos are out there. Hopefully, you're getting some enjoyment out of them. At least taking the mystery out of your local beer cooler. And while you're down there, also subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button. That'll give you a notification every time I post a new video. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.